What's going on, guys? So I bought yet another refurbished console from GameStop. This time I got a PS3 Super Slim. And now if you're not familiar with the Super Slim PS3, basically it's a Super Slim PS3 that came out like right before the PS4. I think this console came out in September of 2012, whereas the PS4 came out in 2013. So I don't know how many of these systems sold, but I can't imagine it was too many considering the PS4 came out just a year after the PS3 Super Slim released. Well, let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. And as you can see, the box looks to be in pretty good condition, which is a plus coming from GameStop. And so I actually, just a little background, I bought this for like $134, I think, including tax and shipping. And I actually bought it like, I don't know, a couple months ago now. And I just haven't gotten to around to opening it yet. And so I'm hoping it actually works because GameStop's return window is a month. So if it doesn't work, I'm kind of out of luck. And here we go. So we got the console here. Actually packaged up pretty well. It had a solid amount of packaging in it. And so as you can see here, I got the packing slip, 120 bucks plus tax and handling. Comes out to 134. So I haven't looked at eBay recently to see what the price is on the PS3 Super Slim, but I can't imagine 134 is a terrible price. It's probably a solid price, as long as the console works. So let's go ahead and open this thing up, or let's go ahead and take a look first and see what's actually included. So got the PS3 console, the PS3 controller, USB controller cable, HDMI cable, AC cable, and 30-day guarantee. Now, my first concern looking at this thing is it says premium refurbished PlayStation 3. It doesn't say anything about Slim or Super Slim. Now this picture right here looks like a regular Slim, if I remember correctly. But that's my only concern so far. It doesn't feel heavy enough to be an original PS3. But yeah, hopefully it's actually a Super Slim and not something else, but we'll see. It's got right here, original PS3, Slim PS3, and K chassis PS3. I guess that's the Super Slim. I've never heard it called K chassis. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. Alright, so let's get this thing opened and see what's inside. Hopefully it's not in bad condition. I don't remember, to be honest, if the Super Slim is a matte console or a glossy console. So we're gonna see. And looks matte to me. I gotta figure out how to get this thing out of here. Kind of got a weird contraption here. Well, I guess I gotta lift the entire thing out to get the console out, which is interesting. I guess. And so the disc slot was open. This thing looks pretty dirty from first look. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories first, and then we'll get into the actual console. So as you can see here, we got some cables. So we have our HDMI cable, pretty normal. Got our power cable. Got our USB cable for charging the controller. And of course we have our controller, which is the DualShock 3. And it feels like it's in pretty solid condition. It's kind of got a scuff right there. Not sure if you can see that. And there, that's kind of an odd looking scuff on a controller. But the analog sticks feel good. All the buttons feel good. So not too obsessed about the controller, except that, dude, this might be no. I'm a little bit concerned that it doesn't have a sticker here. I'm thinking that might be counterfeit or like some kind of third-party thing, but it looks legit. It's got the DualShock 3 back here in 6-axis. To be honest, I'm not sure all the standard markings on a controller like this, so if you know anything about this kind of stuff, definitely comment down below and let me know if you think this is like a third-party controller, not actually an official DualShock 3 controller. I'll probably look it up some too and see if I can figure that out. But we also got our instruction manual down here, which I do not care about. And then of course we have our PS3. And when you saw when I opened it up, the disc slot was already open like that, which it's got a kind of cool disc slot. It feels extremely cheap, not gonna lie. But yeah, at first glance, this thing looks to be in okay condition. I can't tell what was supposed to be glossy and what was not, because it looks like GameStop did their good old sandpaper trick again. Let's go ahead and move this box out of the way so we can see it a little bit better. So now that we're zoomed in, you can see it a little bit better. And as you can see, this middle part is kind of like ridges, a matte finish. It's not glossy or anything. So yeah, it just has ridges, and you slide the disc tray open to stick the disc in there. Slide it closed. And then on the front, it looks like it's matte, but I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be glossy because some parts of it feel kind of glossy or look kind of glossy, but it looks like GameStop did their old sandpaper trick where they take sandpaper to it and try to make it matte. And if you look at the light correctly, you might be able to see the sandpaper marks or whatever they use. It's a mystery to me. Whereas the back actually does look glossy, but it's pretty well scratched up. See if you guys can see that very well. But there's a lot of scratches back there. And so I guess you can take a look at the sides too. This side looks like a matte finish, so there's nothing wrong there. And if we go to the other side, it says 500G for 500 gigs. And yeah, it looks fine as well. Now if you take a look at the back, we have all our standard stuff, our AC in, our AV out, digital out, HDMI out, and our LAN port. And yeah, looks alright. On the bottom, we also have, that looks alright, we got all our little rubber pads. Looks like one's missing here, so obviously GameStop did open this up to refurbish it, I guess, and they forgot a little rubber pad, which is interesting. And now for the front, I got an interesting look here on the front just because it's like super narrow at the front, and the Sony logo is pretty messed up, kind of scratched up, a little bit jiggly, like it's about to fall off. We got, oh, I didn't realize there's actually an eject button for the disc tray. So it's just like, it's mechanical, like there's no power to this. You press it and it just releases the disc tray, which is kind of cool. And you have the PlayStation logo here, which is very scratched up. And then down here, of course, you have 2 USB ports, and even more scratches down here. I can't tell if this part is supposed to be glossy or matte, just because that's kind of how GameStop does things, is they just scratch all up so you can't tell if it was supposed to be glossy or matte. But yeah, I'm not too impressed with the condition of this console. At least cosmetically, it doesn't look super nice. But you know, let's go plug it in, see if it works, see if the controller works, and yeah, we'll see if this thing plays some games and actually boots up. Alright guys, so I got this thing all plugged up now. I got my HDMI cable, my power cable, and of course my USB cable that plugs into the controller that charges it and stuff. And as you can see, I do have a red light, so that's a good sign. So we're going to go ahead and power this thing up and make sure it turns on to my TV, or appears on my TV. So I turn it on, turns green. It's got a pretty light noise, not too loud. Don't see anything on my screen yet. And something's coming up now. Any day now. Got my controller flashing at me. Ah, here we go. Sony. Yeah. So it is booting up. And it shows me as controller or player number 1 now. And here it is. It is booting up. English. Yes, let's use HDMI, please. Dude, I can't imagine the days of, you know, non-HDMI, like the SD days. I can imagine them. It's just, whenever I go back and play games that were that old, it's like, I can't believe I played in that bad of, you know, that bad of looking games. Alright, so it's trying to make me connect to the Wi-Fi, and I don't really want to do that, but it might make me. Except I'm pretty sure in the PS3 and Xbox 360 days, it didn't make you connect to Wi-Fi, so I don't know why it's trying to make me do this right now. I could have sworn I could skip this part. Alright, so I was able to successfully skip the part where I connect to my internet, which is nice because that always takes forever to do, and I don't really need to do it for this kind of video. So here's the splash screen. PS3, this is a classic screen. It's basically the same screen that the PSP had, I think, or I think the PSP screen was similar. I do have a PSP, but I haven't played it in ages. The PSP definitely came before the PS3, and I think I had a splash screen kind of like this. But yeah, it looks to be working. My controller is working fine. You can see, got save data for PSP games. Can you play PSP games in this? Maybe it's if you download them. I don't think there's a PSP game slot in here. The browser, this was a game changer when there's internet browsers on consoles. I used them like 2 times, and I just figured out, you know, then phones came out, and there was no point in using them, but they were cool for a while. But I actually have a game here, so I got Motor Storm. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in, or stick it in the disc slot and see if it works. If I can get the dang disc out. Oh, this is embarrassing. Alright, so I got the disc out, and let's try this little mechanism. I'm going to set the disc down here lightly so it doesn't get scratched. So ready, set, go. Ooh, it's pretty satisfying, not gonna lie. Let's do that again. And as I showed you earlier, it's completely mechanical, so there's nothing electrical about that. You just hit a button and it slides open. And unfortunately it doesn't close because it's just electronic. It's just a mechanical flip of a switch, basically opening it up. And we should see this game load up if the console works. Oh, and there it is, MotorStorm. Nice. So, pleasant experience so far. Console seems to be working. My controller is working. My power cord is working. You know, I haven't run into a power cord that was broken yet. I guess it'd be pretty hard to do that. It'd have to be like a frayed cable or something. But it looks like the game is loading up fine. You know, to do a true test, I'd probably need to play this for like hours. But who has the time to test MotorStorm for hours? Because I don't really want to play this game for hours, to be honest. So, but yeah, it's booting up. We'll wait until we get to a reasonable screen, and then we'll declare it as working. So yeah, it is playing now. Nice. So you go back home. And this is also one of those first consoles that you could actually go back home without like completely destroying your game or exiting your game. Obviously I exited my game right here, but you could go back home and like kind of scroll around without exiting your game, which was kind of cool. In the end, it's not really a big deal, but it was just cool for the time. And alright, so we're back on the home screen. I kind of just want to take a look at the settings and see what system update this is on, or what firmware, whatever they call it. I think that'll be under system settings. You know, it's a Super Slim, so I doubt it's an old firmware, so it's probably not worth anything. But we'll check it out anyway. I know there's like certain firmwares, if you're old enough, you can actually put like Linux on your machine or your PS3 and that sort of thing. So version 4.86, that sounds pretty recent, so I doubt that's going to be anything worthwhile. I got 412 gigs out of 465, so it's using like 40 gigs or 50 gigs for the just for like system storage or whatever. But yeah, it looks like this console is working. It's not too loud, to be honest. Oh, that was got really loud because it scrolled onto the game loading screen. But yeah, the console itself doesn't seem too loud. It's got like the fan on the back, but the fan is like barely blowing any air out, and this thing is not hot at all. Of course, I haven't played a game hardly at all yet, but yeah, I mean, seems to be working fine. I can't get over this disc tray. It's like, it's so cheap, but it's kind of satisfying to open up and close. But yeah, it's just like, it's so cheap. But this is what they do with, you know, later consoles. They use super cheap components so they can, you know, produce a console for super cheap. I think this thing retailed for like $200 maybe. I mean, it was pretty cheap when it came out comparatively to the other consoles. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied. This console works fine. You know, cosmetically, this thing is fairly ugly, but it's not the prettiest thing to begin with. So, you know, it's not a big deal. If you're buying a PS3 at this day and age, you're probably not looking for something super clean. You just want something to play some games. And at $140, I think that's still a little bit steep. You could probably get an older PS3 or maybe just a PS3 regular Slim for cheaper than that. Or maybe even eBay has some for cheaper than that. But, you know, $140 seems a tad steep for a PS3, especially when the PS5 is just coming out in, you know, like a month from now. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you're interested in my content. And of course, let me know down in the comments if you want me to buy anything else from GameStop, because you know I will. You know, I've purchased like, I don't remember how many consoles now. It's probably been like 20 or 25 different consoles. But yeah, I'm pretty much keeping them in business at this point. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.